take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Settle down, hey, let's have a crowd. Hey, what you waiting for? Something physical. I can do this by myself. Without you, there be no place for me to hide. Without you, there's no way I can sleep tonight. I do for a little bit of peace and quiet. Without you, I keep slipping in a bad tree.
Didn't even really wanna go, but if you get me out, you get a show. There's so many bodies on the floor, so baby, we should go and add some more. Are you down, did it down, did it down, did it down, down, down? Down, did it down, did it down, did it down, down, down? Everywhere I look at people's hands, thrown up in the air to help them dance. Come on, baby, catch me if you can. I know you don't have any other plans. Are you down, did it down, did it down, did it down, down, down? Down, did it down, did it down, did it down, down, down? Are you down, 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 down? Are you You know we could put him all to shame. Now isn't the time to play it safe. Isn't this the reason why you came? So, baby, don't you let it go to waste. Are you down, did it down, did it down, did it down, down, down? Down, did it down, did it down, did it down, down, down?
Please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Started as a quiet Friday night. I don't really think that we should fight this. What if we don't stop until it's light? Are you down, did it down, did it down, did it down, down, down? Are you down, did it down, did it down, did it down, down, down? Are you down, 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 down,
Come here and visit my world. Come here and
and visit my world. Did history, shining stars. Our love is the only way. Don't get lost, cause I'm waiting. Summer feelings are waiting, boy. You and me is more than 100 miles. You and me is more than the gray sky. You and me is more than lonely days. It's our time to go. Dance with me one more time. You and me is more than 100 miles. You and me is more than the gray sky. You and me is more than lonely days. It's our time to go. Dance with me one more time. Come here and visit my world. Did history, shining stars. Our love is the only way. Don't get lost, cause I'm waiting. Summer feelings are waiting, boy. You and me is more than 100.
Please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Than the gray sky. You and me is more than lonely days. It's our time to go. Dance with me one more time. Dance with me one more time. You and me is more than lonely days. It's our time to go. Dance with me one more time. You and me is more than 100 miles. You and me is more than the gray sky. You and me is more than. It's our time to go. Dance with me one more time.
Did you ever want it? Did you want it back? Oh my, tears me apart. Did you ever fight it? All of the pain, so much pride running through my veins. Bleeding, I'm bleeding. My cold little heart. Oh, I can't stand myself. And I know in my heart, in this cold.
Please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Did you ever notice I've been ashamed all my life? I've been playing games. We could try to hide it. It's all the same. I've been losing one day at a time. Bleeding, I'm bleeding. My cold little heart. Oh, I can't stand myself.
Give me things that I wanted to know. Tell me things that you've done. I've been feeling old, I've been feeling cold. You're the heat that I know. Listen, you are my sun. I said there's more to life than rush. Not gonna leave this place with us. Drop the game, it's not enough. Hush, I said there's more to life than rush. Not gonna leave this place with us. Drop the game, it's not enough. I've been singing, oh, I've been singing your song. Give me things that I wanted to know. Tell me things that you've done. I've been feeling old, I've been feeling cold. You're the heat that I know. Listen, you are my sun.
Good evening. It's time for the James Beard Foundation's 2025 Media Awards. Welcome to the 2025 James Beard Awards. Presented by Capital One. In association with Chicago O'Hare and Midway International Airports. Our premier sponsors are Aquapana Natural Spring Water, American Airlines, Heinz, Hilton, HMS Host, Patron Tequila, San Pellegrino Sparkling Natural Mineral Water. Our supporting sponsors are Schooner Bay Salmon. With reception sponsors, Cook Unity, Kendall College at National Louis University, Windstar Cruises. Additional support is provided by Bimmy Baby Broccoli, Cargo Crew, Christo, Ecolab, McCormick for Chefs, Plugra Premium Style European Butter, Sodexo, Tito's Handmade Vodka, and their Terra Dinnerware. Thanks to our proud hosts, Choose Chicago and the Illinois Restaurant Association, and our official broadcast partner, Intersport. Please welcome the Chief Executive Officer of the James Beard Foundation, Claire Reichenbach.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the James Beard Foundation Media Awards. Look, as we gather here tonight, we do so against a backdrop of real unrest, instability, and division. There is a lot going on in the world for sure. And we're all being impacted in different ways. But this evening is our moment to pause, to come together, and to celebrate you, your incredible talent, your leadership, and your achievements. I also want to underscore that the restaurant industry and the food system that we know here would not exist without the invaluable and irreplaceable cultural and economic contribution of immigrant communities. Indeed. Nearly 40% of restaurant owners here are foreign-born, And what makes this country's food landscape so uniquely dynamic and richly diverse is the tapestry of culinary influences and traditions from around the globe that find such beautiful expression here because of immigrant roots, heritage, and stories. So let's come together as a community this evening in unity and in celebration of both the phenomenal talent in the room and in recognition of those that are so vital to the broader food system we inhabit. So tonight is the kickoff of this year's full anniversary weekend and our 35th anniversary celebrations. And this is a major milestone for us at the Foundation and for the industry at large as we reflect on the evolution and progress that has been made over the decades. It's worth noting that the Media Awards, along with Restaurant and Chef Honours, were there at ground zero. They started with the Book Awards and quickly expanded to include journalism and broadcast media. Food media has always been central, fundamental to shaping the broader food landscape and culture. It's not an adjunct or bystander, it's an active agent, a catalyst. And your craft, commentary and commitment has helped propel our food world forward, and continues to do so. Our nominees tonight stand on venerable shoulders, but they also belong to a living tradition that continually morphs and reinvents itself as technology advances and our mediums change and multiply. Looking back 35 years ago, there was no food TV, cell phone networks were only available in Finland and Japan, the first food blogs were still a decade away, and social media wasn't even a concept. Today, the Media Awards seek to amplify a diversity of voices on all platforms, established and emerging, underscoring the importance of dynamic and rigorous conversations about food across the full media ecosystem. So to our honorees and nominees, your leadership in this social dialogue is more critical and important than ever. We recognise that risk and sacrifice are sometimes involved in your work, and we thank you for your commitment to our shared future. I also wish to thank the many dedicated people who bring these awards into being each year. Our Board of Trustees, led by Nancy Lukic, our all-volunteer committees and judges who pour their hearts and souls and spare time into this work, our James Beard Foundation staff, our community of donors, and individual and corporate partners, and especially our presenting sponsor, Capital One. And finally, as always, I want to express our heartfelt thanks to our proud hosts at Choose Chicago and the Illinois Restaurant Association. Thank you for your steadfast support and indeed friendship. Now, our host tonight is a James Beard award-winning television journalist whose honouring of migrant roots of American food formed the backbone of her Emmy-nominated show, Taste the Nation. Please welcome to the stage best-selling author and tireless advocate for food justice everywhere, Padma Lakshmi.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. And thank you, Claire. I want to thank all of you for being here. I know you'd much rather probably be holding up a sign somewhere, but they're all done too. Yeah. Because as Claire mentioned, right, there's so much going on right now. And I just want to begin by acknowledging the elephant outside the room for a second. Out there are hundreds of thousands of Americans who took to the streets today in every state in our nation, and including Puerto Rico. And people are standing up against authoritarianism and standing up for the rights of immigrants, for the rights of LGBTQ people, and on behalf of all our democracy. But by the way, just a bit of good news, this week at the Kennedy Center, a group of drag queens crashed Trump's first prom as head of board of the directors. But seriously, what's happening outside of this room represents and affects every single one of us, in one way or another. And many of the people who grow and harvest and make and serve the food we eat came here seeking a better life for their families and made this country better in turn. Indeed, our industry and food systems would not exist without immigrants, as Claire said. Nothing, let's be honest, in this nation would. This is our America, all of us. I think it's important to say that out loud, whether you're on the sidewalk or in a building, whoever you hold company with, in a peaceful way. And I wish those guys in the White House could actually go around this country and taste the nation like I have. Sorry, I had to put that plug in somewhere. But from city to city, from coast to coast, they'd see, they'd taste that immigrants, some of the very people that they're nabbing and jailing and sending away, are actually our greatest strength. But we all know that, right? Because we've tasted it ourselves. And it's why all of us in the room tell the stories that we do. And it's why we do what we do. Because now more than ever, media matters, okay? Making media like all of us do records our connected histories. We just do it through food. And let me just say, all that food is fucking delicious. So let's celebrate all of the diverse and inspiring talent with us here tonight. Congratulations to everybody. And let's never forget the power that we have in this beautiful industry to be leaders every day, both inside our kitchens and on the sidewalks outside. We are a multitude. And this is a big anniversary year. So before I get to our first nominees, I really want to congratulate everyone at the James Beard Foundation for arriving at this moment. 35 years is a lot. A lot. Look what they've done, right? And the organization has been extremely intentional in how it evolves, and it shows, from education to advocacy to direct support. The James Beard Foundation provides so many points of industry for food professionals and lay people like me alike as we build careers in the industry. And this has helped countless new voices come to the fore across our culinary landscape. Now to the business at hand, okay? I live an active life online. I share and I learn in that medium a lot. But I also love the quiet focus and physicality of an actual book. That's right. Let's hear it for books, please. And if you collect books like I do, you end up carrying them around with you. But books also carry us. And a well-used cookbook might have handwritten notes at the back and traces of whatever was on the stove on some long-lost night splattered on its margins. And we're all looking forward to celebrating the nominees and the winners tonight. And by the way, there'll be a tasting reception after the show, which I'm looking forward to. But until then, let's raise an imaginary glass to the 35th anniversary of the awards by beginning with the award for Beverage with Recipes. Here are the nominees.
A Quick Drink, Megan Krigbaum, Lynette Marrero, and Ivy Mix. The Bartender's Pantry, Emma Jansen, Jim Meehan, and Bart Sasso. The Cocktail Parlor, Nicola Nice.
The Bartender's Pantry, Emma Jansen, Jim Meehan, and Bart Sasso.
wrote this out because frequently you get up here and you black out and you don't thank everyone. First, I'd like to thank the James Beard Foundation and the judges for recognizing our book with this honor. I'd like to congratulate our fellow nominees, Nicola, Ivy, Lynette, and Megan. What an honor to share this recognition with you. I'd also like to thank my family, especially Val, Olivia, and Arlo, for your support during this 5-year project. My partners on the project back here, Emma and Bart, along with our photographer, AJ Meeker, who's a huge part of why we're up here. I'd like to thank our agent, Kim Witherspoon, and our colleagues at Inkwell. We can't thank you enough for your stewardship and guidance. Everyone at 10 Speed, especially our editor, Molly Birnbaum, designer Betsy Stromberg, and publisher Aaron Weiner. You guys believed in us and have made our dream a reality. Our contributors who generously shared their genius with us, and when everyone was preoccupied with keeping their loved ones healthy and safe during the pandemic. What a scary time. I'd like to thank Harold McGee for patiently answering so many of my questions and proofreading. I bet a lot of you have also done this to Harold. I'd like to thank everyone that hosts us for a book party, especially the independent cookbook stores like Kitchen Arts and Letters and Vivian in Portland, which are embassies of our missions as food writers. This is a book that centers the preparations of those who do the prep for bars and restaurants before service with workers who grow, harvest, and distribute the ingredients we transform into drinks. Many of these members of our industry, the heart and soul of our foodways, are being targeted for deportation by our government right now, and I'd like to affirm my solidarity with them. No one is illegal on stolen land. Lastly, I'd like to thank everyone who affirms that mixology is a culinary art and mixing drinks is akin to cooking, but with liquids. This is no longer a radical thing to say, and that's in large part due to writers, chefs, and organizations like the James Beard Foundation who've embraced the bar as an extension of the kitchen. Thanks again.
For those who prefer to wander without a guide, we have books on beverages without recipes. The nominees are
Rebel School of Wine, Tyler Ballier. Sake, Yashko Weno-Mueller. The World Atlas of Whiskey, 3rd edition, Dave Broom.
And the winner is Yashiko Inu Mueller for sake.
Thank you very much. I'm not so prepared to talk about it. My name is Yoshiko Ueno-Mura. It's not usually a Japanese name. I'm born in Tokyo, but so therefore 36 years and 1 year before the James Beard Award is established, and then living in Germany. Therefore, my Japanese English is with German accent. You can feel it, and so then for 20 years ago I began import sake to Germany, and been fascinated the sake, and because a glass of sake reflects culinary culture of Japan and terroir and histories, but also individual stories of sake makers, brewmeister, also rice farmers. So 2,000 histories is contains such individual stories. I would like to with my book, and I want to spotlight their life, stories, and philosophies, but also sake pairing. Sake is so beyond sushi and ramen, and very so nice pairings with cheese or steak or the European or the American or the cuisine, and so on. I hope my book opens your eyes, deep culture of sake. And I'm very, very thank you. So Oliver Hickshorts, his art director, he and the photographer Marx Basra, we are together 5 weeks in Japan, and so we are eating, drinking, and such pleasures in the contents in the book. Thank you very much to all my husband, and they support my books. And thank you, sake got, and kanpai. Thank you. Thank you very much. Would you like to ask?
So I call myself a bookworm, but I understand our next presenter had additional shelving installed in her home to accommodate the library of submissions she read through this year. Is that correct? She's a writer and recipe developer and was the co-owner of James Beard Award-recognized restaurant Bad Saint. Please welcome to the chair of the Book Awards Committee, Genevieve Villamora.
Thank you, Padma, and hello, everyone. I've lived in Washington, D.C. for 31 years, but I was born in Chicago, and I will always be a Chicagoan. I love that the awards give me a chance to come back to my hometown and take it in bite by bite. Shout out to Gulliver's Pizza, Fluky's, Lutz Bakery, and Brown's Chicken, my middle school faves, which are all still kicking. I also have to thank my parents, who insisted that we eat dinner at home together and fed us Filipino food alongside dishes my mom cooked from the pages of Bon Appetit. I didn't know it at the time, but she was shaping my future understanding of food. Know your roots, but taste widely. And remember, anything you don't know can be found in books. Fast forward, I'm in college. I declare myself a vegetarian, and I realize I have no idea how to cook at all. So I walk into my local bookstore and emerge with a paperback that is basically Vegetarian Dinners for Dummies, and it is a complete life changer. 30-something years later, it's still on my shelf. The spine is cracked. It has no cover. But I will always keep it because every story begins somewhere, and mine started with that book. The next award celebrates an author whose own story is just beginning. They may not yet have a wide following, but their work points to what's coming for our community, our food system, and our life on this planet. The Emerging Voice Book Award winner is Paula Velez.
Wow. I'm deeply honored to be here tonight. First, I want to thank the James Beard Foundation for this incredible recognition and for making space for people like me to tell our stories through food. As a first-generation American, I carry with me the weight and pride of my family's journey. My story is not my own. It's the story of countless immigrants who came here in search of a better life. It's a story of sacrifice, resilience, and hope. Hope that we too will be recognized, valued, and celebrated. Immigrants are the heartbeat of this nation, and we deserve to be heard. I know it's hard right now with everything that's going on in our country. It can feel like hope is slipping away, but I want to tell you tonight, don't lose hope. We have the power to shape our future through our voices, through our food, and through our stories. Even when things seem uncertain, we can keep showing up, keep creating, and keep believing. I'm here today because of the love and strength passed down to me by my mom, my abuela. Thank you for teaching me that the power of food is love, and for keeping me grounded in who I am. To my mother-in-law and father-in-law, thank you for your endless love and support. Your kindness and generosity mean the world to me. And to Hector, my dear husband, thank you for always being by my side and for cheering me on and for giving me great health insurance and for lifting me up when I am not strong. I wouldn't be here without you. And I want to take a moment to thank my book team, my publisher, my editors, Caitlin and Amanda, my co-author, Emily Timberlake, my photographer, Lauren Vidalin, the brilliant team of powerful women, and everyone in Union Square & Co. who believed in this project and helped me bring it to life. This book wouldn't be what it is without you and your immense creativity, passion, and care. Bodega Bakes is not just about making beautiful desserts. It's about honoring our stories, our families, and our culture. It's about making sure that those who are often overlooked are finally seen. Tonight, this win belongs to the immigrants who make this country beautiful. Thank you.
Some people pack their lives so full of living, all you can do is be awestruck. My next guest is a chef, an activist, James Beard Award-winning author, and restaurateur who opened 5 acclaimed restaurants in New York City and the world's first African dining hall in Dubai. Oh, and did I mention before he started his food career, he won a Tony and a Grammy. And like James Beard before him, music was just the opening act. Won't you please help me welcome Alexander Smalls.
Oh, wow. Good evening. You're too kind, my dear. You should make me work for this a little harder. Okay. Restaurants. Restaurants, as glorious as they might be, have lifespans, even my own. But books last as close to forever as we're likely to get. It was immensely meaningful for me to have a book inducted in the canon of American cooking in 2019, and I am so pleased to welcome the new books into the fold tonight. All right, then, let's get it started with something for people who know their stuff and want to know more stuff. The nominee for professional and restaurants are
Convivir, Rogelio Garcia and Andrea Lawson Gray. 11 Madison Park, Daniel Hume. Tipo 00, Andreas Papadakis.
And the winner is Convivir, Rogelio Garcia and Andrea Lawson Gray.
Wow. I'm just pretty shocked. I didn't come with a speech ready. I couldn't even think of what to say. But I do want to say thank you to the James Beard Foundation, my mother, who brought us here, late 80s. When I was 2 years old, came to Los Angeles as an immigrant, and then found cooking in the Napa Valleys, and I've been cooking ever since I was 15 years old. This book definitely represents that journey for 20 plus years. And a lot of the recipes were from my mother, things that I learned. But I really wanted to make this book because I grew up in the States. And, you know, my vision of cooking was very different from chefs that are Mexican and actually grew up in Mexico. So I started cooking in my career out of European restaurants. And I met my friend, and, you know, she's kind of like a mother to me, Andrea Gray, and we took this challenge on about close to 5 years ago. And I really want to thank her for being in my corner all the time, giving me advice, and being here tonight. So thank you, everybody, for being out, and I really appreciate it.
I want to take a quick moment to shout out the culinary student from Kendall College who is helping with our medallions. Hasmin, please come out. Arellano, come on out. Yasmin Arellano. You might just see her back there. I wanted you to know who she was. Our next category highlights cookbooks focused on one ingredient, dish, or method of cooking. The nominees for books on a single subject are
The Bean Book, Julia Newberry and Steve Sandow. Zhang, Nadia Cho, Mingu Kong, and Joshua David Stein. The Turkey Book, Jesse Griffiths.
And the winner is Zhang, Nadia Cho, Mingu Kang, and Joshua David Stein.
Mingu Kong, who is the author, can't be here tonight, but he sends his, well, Nadia will talk about that. I just want to say thank you to Nadia, to Mingu, to the artisan team, Judy Prey and Leah Ronen. Writing a book or getting a book made is not easy, and it takes a lot of people and a lot of faith that there's a market for it. And Zhang is not like 101 easy Korean recipes. There's a lot of depth, and they put a lot of faith in us, and for me personally as a co-author, and also a shout out to all co-authors who don't often get shouted out as much as they should, in my opinion, in my self-involved opinion. They put their faith in us to tell the story of generations of Korean jang makers and artisans, and it's a privilege, and it was an honor to do so.
Oh, really? You're right. Nothing think about it. So when I had first lunch with Mingu, talk about this cookbook 4 years ago in COVID, I have thrown in my mind, probably we can go to James Beard Award. Today, it really came to reality. Whole process, every week, we have a Zoom call, Joshua, me, and Mingu, totally different background. One is a native Korean chef, American. I'm kind of half and half. We talk about the one authentic native subject, ingredient about chang, but it's not just process of really writing the cookbook. Pretty much, even though we input each other, we understand each other, we understand, accept our difference. Whole process, I think it's the power of the food. So I learned a lot from whole process. So I hope other audience really notice that, not just the chang and the whole Korean food and what else? Culture. Thank you.
None of us have to look hard to see things in our food system that need changing or improving. Culinary professionals know this better than anyone, and frequently are the leaders. For books that delve deep into food issues and advocacy, the nominees are
The Blue Plate, Mark J. Easter. The Painful Truth About Hunger in America, Mariana Chilton. ruin their crops on the ground. Andrea Freeman.
And the winner is ruin their crops on the ground, Andrea Freeman.
Wow. I'm totally overwhelmed and grateful to everyone for being here today, to the James Beard Foundation, to my agent, editor, publicist, daughters. And the book is about the way that food has been used as a tool of subordination since colonization, enslavement, attempts to assimilate immigrants, and leading up to sort of corporate takeover of food law and policy. And I think the issues of racism in food law and policy are more urgent today than ever. So I really hope that winning this award will bring attention to them and that we'll see some change. So thank you so much for featuring this book tonight, and that's it. Okay, thank you.
The books in the following category focus on cuisines from around the world as they're practiced in their home cultures. So important. And the nominees for international are
The Balkan Kitchen, Irina Yanakievska. The Chinese Way, Betty Liu. The Salvi Soul Cookbook, Carla Tatiana Vasquez.
And the winner is Irina Janakievska, The Balkan Kitchen.
I wasn't expecting that. Thank goodness my husband made me write a speech. This book was written to reclaim the narrative of an entire region through food. I wanted to use the extraordinary, diverse, and beautiful culinary heritage of the Balkans, my Balkans, to encourage people to look past the negative stereotypes of an entire region and its people, to look beyond the conflicts that have come to define us, that have been orchestrated by despots in power. Above all, I wanted people to fall as hopelessly in love with the Balkans, its people, and our food as I am. Thank you, James Beard Foundation and judges, for seeing that and for this incredible honor and for hearing my voice. Thank you to my wonderful publisher, Quadrille, and my agent, Emily Sweet, for essentially taking a punt on a nobody. Above all, thank you to the Balkans and its people, their beautiful complexity, their stubbornness of spirit, their determination to survive despite everything, their generosity and their love. This is for all the Balkan kitchens around the world that have fed my heart and soul, and for everyone who, like me, has had to leave home but carries it with them in their heart wherever they happen to find themselves in the world. For everyone that carries fragments of their identity in a suitcase, their great-grandmother's handwritten recipes, embroideries, a handful of beans, tomato seeds, pepper seeds, jars full of delicious memory, hoping to never lose the place they come from and hoping to pass it on to the next generation wherever it finds itself in the world. Blagodaram, hvala, falemenderit. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh yes, and one more for me. This award celebrates books that center the cultural and historical content behind our country's many culinary traditions. For USA Foods, the nominees are
Bayou, Melissa M. Martin. Chinese Enough, Christina Cho. Our South, Ashley Shanti.
And the winner is Ashley. Ashley Shanti.
Well, I like many of my savvy peers here, did not come with anything prepared because I truly did not expect to be standing before you today. It is such an honor. Our South is my first cookbook, and I set out to write this. What I thought was doing was informing people of what Southern food is and dispelling the myths of what it isn't. And through that, it was such a personal journey, and I really discovered who I am as a chef, and I think it made me a stronger and a better chef. And it made me proud of my culture and even prouder of the food that I grew up eating and cooking. I come from a lineage of very, very powerful women. My mom, plenty of aunties, cousins. Many of them are here cheering me on today. And, you know, I'd been saying to myself that I feel like just because of them, I've certainly won. And I wouldn't be standing here without this very, very strong team behind me. That includes Rika Olenek, my literary agent, Amanda Englander, who's here today, my editor, the whole Union Square team, David Black Agency, Sprout House, Anna Tarver, Gabrielle, Peyton. I'm sorry, I'm going to forget a lot of names because I, again, wasn't prepared to be standing here. But, you know, it feels really, really powerful to be in this industry at a time of such turmoil in our country when food stories and food, I believe, are what's going to be our great unifier. So thank you all so much. Thank you to the foundation that has been an incredible resource for me as a chef. This is certainly an upgrade from the last time I was at the James Beard Awards, which was in 2018, shucking 3,000 oysters, cold, blistered hands, but that maybe will go in the next book, that story. So again, thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you, Alexander. In a second, we'll be joined by an author whose book, The Cake Bible, took not one but 2 prizes at the very first James Beard Awards. The new edition of this indispensable classic came out last year. To celebrate, we have the Queen of Cake herself with us to read the next awards. Please put your hands together for the wonderful Rose Levy Beranbaum.
This is so emotional. Thank you, Padma. After winning the first prize, I was totally shocked when the presenter, Sharon Tyler Herbst, announced the book of the year as going to, quote, Our Angel, and then followed by my name. But at that point in my life, I had figured out that baking joy is something you can whip up pretty reliably if you measure by weight and not volume. That's for the bakers in the house. It is always a joy to see that after all these years, most baking books include weights. The recognition and serious consideration the James Beard Award brought me set the course for the next phase of my career. It's a pleasure beyond measure to share it with the new winner this evening. And the nominees for books on baking and desserts are
Breaking Bow, Clarice Lamb. The Elements of Baking, Katerina Trammell. Sift, Nicola Lamb.
And the winner is am I allowed to say it? Sift.
take the advice of someone to make some notes on my phone about 5 minutes before this started. I am so excited to win this, but also so excited to meet Rose, who has been one of my baking heroes since I've begun. So this is crazy. I want to start by congratulating my co-nominees, Clarice and Katerina, for their wonderful books. I have them both in my collection, and I'm so proud to be positioned beside you. A big thanks to the James Beard Foundation for helping to maintain and constantly raise the bar and give us all something to push for and work towards. A huge thanks to Team Sift and my publishers here, Clarkson Potter. My editor in the US is Susan Roxburgh, and she's not here, but I'm sharing this with her, and I'm so grateful that you believed in my book of tables and charts, and thanks for taking a chance on that. Books take a village, so a big thanks to my friends and family, my husband here, Justin, for supporting me through the process. I'm forever grateful for all the teachers in my life, fellow chefs, authors, and writers, for sharing so generously. I will do my best to always pass it on. SIF was always the book I wish I'd had when I'd started, and I started my career in the US over a decade ago, so it's a real full circle moment to be standing here and next to one of my baking heroes. This is crazy. So yeah, thank you so much. I'm so happy to meet you.
Congratulations. I look forward to baking and enjoying a slice or maybe two of your delicious confections. And now for books about the other staff of life, which happens to be my favorite thing to bake. Surprise. The nominees in the category of bread are
Modernist Bread at Home, Francisco Migoya and Nathan Meervold. Richard Hart Bread, Richard Hart, Henrietta Lovell, and Lori Wooliver. The King Arthur Baking Company Big Book of Bread, Jessica Batilana, Martin Phillip, and Melanie Wanders.
And the winner is Richard Hart Bread.
If I took you back to East London, to the dodgy school I went to, you would never believe I would be standing here winning an award for my book. They say it takes, for every great man, there's a great woman, and actually I had two great women. I'm not saying I'm a great man, by the way, but like I had two great women helping me with my book, and one, Lori Wooliver, and Henrietta Lovell, my lovely wife. Wow, they helped translate this dodgy Cockney and made it sound a little poetic. I'd like to thank Clarkson Potter, Francis Lamb and Susan Roxburgh. Everyone at Clarkson Potter was amazing. And then Ben Liebman for helping me pull all this together. That's it. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to get the award from you. Thank you.
For books on the subject of vegetable-focused cooking, something we're doing more of everywhere, and the nominees are
Big Vegan Flavor, Nisha Vora. Mastering the Art of Plant-Based Cooking, Joe Yonan. The Vibrant Hong Kong Table, Christine Wong.
And the winner is my dear friend, Joe Yonan.
I thought I had jinxed it because I did actually write a couple notes down. So then I heard everybody come up and say they didn't write anything, and I was like, oh my God, I wrote something. That must mean I'm not going to win. I didn't really write something. So I don't want to get your hopes up. Okay, people often ask, how long does it take you to write a book, right? When any of you authors know, people are always like, how long did it take you to do that? And with this book, I always say, well, there's two ways to think about that. From contract to publication, 3 years. From the beginning of my life until now, a lifetime. And that's not a reference to how long it actually does take to get books published. I am the grandson of a refugee, an Assyrian refugee who fled genocide. And if this had happened today, I don't think he would get a hearing. So I just wanted to mention that I'm glad that he didn't come here today, because he came back when the Statue of Liberty's poetry actually meant something, was lived up to in this country. To get to the book, I first have to say I'm so honored to be in the company of the other nominees, Nyesha Arrington, who's the most gorgeous, gracious, brilliant author, and I love her book, and Christine Wong. I want to thank all the people who believed in my mission of believing that plant-based cooking is deserving of being codified as a cuisine unto itself, no matter what your personal identity or dietary preference or restriction might be. And that includes David Black, my agent, Kelly Snowden, my editor. There's music this year. Sherry Codiana for the spreadsheet, Kristen Hartke for the recipe testing, all the contributors, there's too many for me to name, Betsy Stromberg for the incredible art direction, Aaron Scott photography, Louie-Ann Kong food stylist, the geniuses at Boxbuff communication, my husband for eating so many plant-based dishes when all he really wanted was another plate of chicken wings. I'm sorry, Carl. Thank you.
It has been a special prize for me to help welcome the newest book award winners. I'll present just one more, and the nominees for books of general interest are
Ottolenghi Comfort, Yotam Ottolenghi and Helen Go with Verena Lockmuller and Tara Wigley. Pass the Plate, Carolina Gellen. Soups, Salads, Sandwiches, Maddie Matheson.
The winner is Pass the Plate.
I also wrote something just in case I pass out. That was my focus. Don't puke, don't pass out. Shehekianu is a Jewish prayer that says, what a blessing to be alive and to be here to experience this moment. It's the best way I can describe this moment. Baruch Hashem, I want to thank Hashem for opening all these doors I didn't know existed. For those of you who don't know, I am an immigrant, so this is extremely emotional for me, especially during this time. I started working in American kitchens 7 years ago. I started working by scrubbing toilets and American floors. James, you still owe me $80 for scrubbing that basketball court. It's just, my family grew up under a dictatorship in Romania under Ceausescu, where food was a luxury, and I grew up with this story how every December they would receive oranges, which wasn't common. You can just go to the grocery store and buy oranges, and every December they would just eat the whole orange because it was so special.
and they would eat the peel, and that was like a blessing for them and a gift. Every December they would look forward to it. And I want to thank my family for sacrificing so much for me. And they're in Romania right now. It's past midnight, but I know they're watching this live stream, and I just want to thank mami și tati, vă iubesc. Mulțumesc că sunteți cu mine în orice fac. My goodness, breathe, don't pass out. I want to thank my publisher who made this possible, Clarkson Potter, my wonderful editors, Jen, Francis. I wrote all of them down because I don't want to forget a soul. Natalie, Stephanie, Elaine, Ian, as well as my agent, Nicole, my tester, Janelle, and the wonderful photo team who brought Pass the Plate to life. Nico, Katie, Maeve, James, Nikki. It's an honor to be here in front of you, so thank you so much for your time. You can hear the song starting. Let me see if I forgot anything. There's someone in this room who's always there to push me further and to achieve my goals. You know who you are. I'm so grateful to have you in my life. And thank you to my community who bought this book, who makes these recipes. It's amazing to see how books and food has the power to bring people together, and I'm excited to see more of that. And thank you to the James Beard Foundation for this amazing privilege and blessing and honor.
Congratulations. I completely forgot about this. It's okay. Thank you, Rose. Thank you very much. Can we have another hand for Rose? Our next presenter has chronicled African culture and foodways in the Americas, and her work is invaluable to anyone who wants to understand our country. It is a tremendous honor to welcome international culinary historian and winner of the James Beard Foundation's honors for both Cookbook Hall of Fame and Lifetime Achievement, Dr. Jessica B. Harris.
Oh, good evening. Thank you, Padma. Incidentally, I was on that boat for those very famous first James Beard Awards, and I raised a glass to Rose when she won. And we'll compare notes later. I'll be raising another glass, probably. Anyhow, I am so glad that I am not on a boat. We were stuck like rats in a trap. But I'm glad to be on solid ground tonight. So, all right. We are here and gathered to celebrate storytellers. Storytellers who use the culinary lens to illuminate the events, changes, accidents, and choices that produce our stunning diversity on this planet. Differences and nuances tell us who we are and keep life interesting. In my book, and I'm using that phrase figuratively here, in my book, that will always be a good thing. So this next category encompasses the nearly limitless variety of nonfiction books about food, written in a narrative style. And that includes everything from memoirs and travelogues to historical research to biographies and guidebooks. What they all have in common is a little something called literary writing. And the contenders are...
The editor, Sarah B. Franklin. Frostbite, Nicola Twilly. Wild Chocolate, Rowan Jacobson.
And the winner is, drumroll please, Frostbite, Nicola Twilly. Okay, I was instructed to look around because unfortunately Nicola is not here. So the foundation and I will certainly accept that award for her. Okay. And the next category is when you need to understand the backstory, the story behind a particular ingredient, recipe, technique, tradition, cultural practice, or influential person, you turn to books in this category. For reference, history, and scholarship, the nominees are
Flavorama, Ariel Johnson. Insatiable City, Teresa McCullough. McAtlas, Gary He.
Crowd favorite. And actually, the winner, McAtlas, Gary He.
Thank you so much for this. I did not prepare a speech, even though I lied to Anna Mandelbaum earlier, and I said I did it. This thing goes for, I think, 2 more hours, and everyone in here is sober, so we're just going to blow through it. I want to thank God. I want to thank my mother. Tomorrow's Father's Day, so I want to thank my father. It takes a village to do a book, even though it says self-published. So thank you to everyone that worked on the book. I have an army of friends who supported me from the very beginning and to the day it was published. Ethan Moses, checking in on me every single day while I was on the road. It was crazy, just traveling 55 countries. To, Andrew Kelly, John Minchillo, like Pulitzer Prize winners dragging boxes of books for me. Through the city to like Kitchen Arts and Letters, and I'm missing all these names at this point. So you guys should definitely start scribbling down some notes if you haven't done so already. Thank you to the foundation and the judges for recognizing the work. And as promised, win or lose, there are copies of McAtlas waiting for you outside. Thank you.
Okay, and next, for books on food and beverage, thank you, with exceptional graphic design, art, or photography, the nominees in the category of visuals are
I Love You, Dita Isager, with Pamela Anderson, Maria Ziska, and Matthew Axe. Korea World, Robert Diaz and Alex Lau. McAtlas, Gary He.
And the winner is McAtlas, so come back up here and finish it.
Someone else got 2 last year, and it starts doing that when you talk. So, yeah, wow. Okay, so double. Cool. It's what was I gonna say? You see, make notes, people. Like, trust me. This category was called photography a couple years ago until they changed it to visuals to encompass kind of design and the interior and the exterior, and it looks like a hamburger. And that was the work of Associate Studio, the best money I've ever spent in my life. And so you can thank them. It was a pleasure kind of working with them. And there's only one category for visuals and photography, but there's a lot of text categories for some reason. So I am in this category with 2 giants, Alex Lau and Dita Isager. Alex's photography style is basically like copied or mimed or by so many people in the industry now. And so I think he's one of the greats to come out of Bon App, even though he's not necessarily one of the names that usually gets mentioned when we think about, the stars that came out of Bon App. And Dita documented Noma for 20 years. I mean, that is a long-term commitment to visual storytelling that will never be matched. And so I want to thank the two of them for inspiring me and influencing my work. And hopefully I can do just, half or a quarter or whatever. Make notes, write your speeches.
Thank you, Gary. Lastly, I was humbled to receive this award. I don't know if I was humbled, but I was delighted to receive this award in 2019, and I'm deeply proud to pass the baton now. Officially, it recognizes people whose writing has significantly influenced the way we think about food. That's everyone from Irma Ronbauer and the Joy of Cooking, to the Larousse Gastronomique, to Johannes Gebreyesus' Ethiopia, to Christina Cho's The Way of the Cocktail, in honor of the persistence and the passion that fuels the work of producing classics like these. The winner of the 2025 Cookbook Hall of Fame Award goes to Rose Levy Beranbaum.
There is no greater honor for a cookbook author than to receive this award. I mean, the best honor that I've ever had in my life, in all my career. And I really feel like my life has come a full circle, because over a half century ago, before I went back to school and got my Bachelor's of Science and my Master's of Food Science and Culinary Arts, my boss at Reynolds Metals, knowing I love food, gave me 4 classes with James Beard. The most important thing I remember learning from him was how to fold egg whites into a mixture using my hand. And I was wearing a very expensive, which I couldn't afford, pinky ring, which slipped off, never to be found again. Nobody reported it, but all I can say is it was well worth it for this moment. And I want to thank all of you being in this wonderful profession, and the James Beard Foundation and Jessica Harris for passing the baton, as she so eloquently said. And maybe most of all, my husband, Woody Woolston, because we wouldn't be here right now if not for him. He drove us all the way from Western New Jersey, because Newark Airport had such a disaster now. He actually drove 2 days to get us here. And I wouldn't have missed this. I would have done it even to be a presenter, and I should say even, because that also was a great honor. But to be a presenter and presentee, if there was such a word, is really a moment in my life that I'll never forget. So thank you again.
We move on now to the Broadcast Awards, my home territory. I've long believed in the unique power of food stories to shift local and national narratives. Our next presenter is a food media veteran, as well as the author of a James Beard Award-winning book, who has chaired the Broadcast Awards Subcommittee since 2022. Please welcome Cynthia Grabart.
Thank you, Padma. We are so proud of all the nominees and winners tonight. Over the course of my career, I have witnessed the transformation of food television from the staid and standard studio kitchens of nearly 40 years ago to grittier, on-the-road storytelling. Where once a handful of networks shaped the food stories we consumed, now the stage is global, diverse, and increasingly personal. The rise of independent creators has given voice to communities long underrepresented and redefined what we mean by broadcast media. With DEI under attack everywhere, I am grateful we built structures over the past 5 years to ensure the awards reflect the core values of the James Beard Foundation. To keep this platform open to new voices and topics is our absolute responsibility. The best of this medium remains great storytelling, whether it's a grandmother's hands forming biscuits, a chef reclaiming ancestral techniques, or a documentary that compels us to think differently about what and how we eat. Food media will continue to blur boundaries between education and entertainment and advocacy and artistry, technology and tradition. And we as a committee are committed to championing work that is as bold as it is beautiful. We are currently pondering how AI will change things, but that's a topic for another day. Tonight, we celebrate excellence as we also honor evolution. Thank you to all the visionaries whose work keeps moving this medium forward. Now, I am thrilled to present the award that honors a creator who is new on the scene or entering a new phase of their career, who is bringing a new perspective to a significant aspect of our food culture. The winner of this year's Emerging Voice Award is Hamada Shakwara. We have a video.
مرحبا جميعا، اسمي حمادة شكورة، بحدثكم اليوم من غسن، ليس من المطبخ أو من الاستوديو، بل من مكان يملأه الغموض والخوف من المجهول. قبل الحرب كنت صانع محتوى، لم أكن طباخ، لكن حين تمدمت بيوتنا وتفرقت عائلاتنا شعرت بمسؤولية تجاه الأطفال. في وقت انهار فيه كل شيء، صار الطعام طريقي في التعبير عن الحب والأمل. عندما بدأت أشارك قصص أكلنا لم أتخيل أنها ستصل إلى هذا الحد. كنت فقط أريد أن أقول أنه رغم الحرب ما زلنا نطبخ وما زلنا نجتمع حول مائدة وما زلنا نتذكر من كان طبقا بعد طبق. في وقت صار فيه الطعام يوزع بكميات قليلة بلا طعم ولا روح، حاولت أن أعطي الأطفال شيئا دافئا، شيئا فيه نكهة، شيئا يشبه البيت. أن يتم تكريم مؤسسة جيمس بير هي جائزة تكرم التأثير وسرد الحكايات، فهذا أمر له قيمة كبيرة لا أستطيع أن أوصفها. يذكرني ويذكر الكثيرين هنا أن حتى من أعمق الألم ما زال بالإمكان أن تسمع أصوات. شكرا لأنكم رأيتم هذا العمل، شكرا لأنكم رأيتمونا.
Congratulations and thank you.
Next up, where do I even start with this guy? He actually grew up across the creek from me in Queens and him in Brooklyn. But this self-described gastronaut has an orbit far beyond our beloved 5 boroughs. You can catch him dropping knowledge on History Channel's Food That Built America and First We Feast's Pro Moves, or breaking it down with James Beard award-winning chefs on his podcast, The Meals That Made Me. Please welcome a man who never met a dish he wouldn't try at least once to tell the tale, the one and only Adam Richman.
Thank you. Thank you, Padma, my NYC sister from another mister, looking all like Princess Leia tonight. So I once told Padma this backstage at the Today Show upon finding out that she boxed and is an avid fan of boxing. As someone who boxed a bit myself, I really respected the fact that Padma once said in an interview, you can't box and say, hey, not in the face. But then again, she has a face very much worth protecting. Me, on the other hand, people saw me and they're like, he could take a shot or two. Now, I'm fortunate that my job is to do one of the most wonderful, human and humane things there is. Share a meal with someone, hear them speak about their passions and what they are most proud of within their culture. Quite frankly, it's a dream gig. I know it, you know it. Now, it's right around Father's Day, and I miss my dad very much. And I think of my dad's fondness for saying, "This ain't no dress rehearsal, kid. We have this moment. Embrace it, capture it, enjoy it." And from lavish to local, highbrow to homemade, these meals, memories, and mouthfuls are special, incredible, edible moments in time that are worth capturing and definitely worth celebrating tonight. So enough with my philosophizing. We got serious stuff to do, and we got medals to bestow, yo. So, first up, a couple of awards for food stories you take in through your ears. I find it's better to do the stories than the actual food. A lot less infections. Now, I got to know the ins and outs of this medium pretty well a few years ago. What started out as a hankering for the kinds of conversations I was used to having over a bite with my buddies turned out into some of the best interviews that I ever did as I delved into the minds of some of my absolute favorite culinary creators on the podcast I hosted called The Meals That Made Me. Some of my guests are actually in this room right now. So here are some of the audible feasts that we have enjoyed this year. In the running for the 2025 Award for Audio Reporting, we have
A People's History of Kansas City, Chasing the Watermelon Man, Post Reports.
I'm not going to say La La Land. The winner is Post Reports.
Thank you to the James Beard Foundation. This is utterly unexpected. I don't write about food. I write about the CIA and the intelligence community and national security. I write about spies. About a year ago, my producer, Ted Muldoon, came to me and he said, "Is there a story that you have in your reporter's notebook that's sort of burning a hole in your back pocket?" And I said, "Yeah, it's actually a history of how candied bacon explains the founding of the CIA and socializing in Washington in 1960s and 1970s Washington." This very improbable story about a secret recipe led us to a period of time that sadly it feels like we've lost in Washington now, where national leaders from different parties got together over meals and over drinks and tried to sort out their problems. It's a time and a period that we sorely, desperately need right now. And it was a real privilege to tell that story with Ted, who can't be here tonight, but is a brilliant producer, and this wouldn't have happened without him. There are three other people without whom this podcast never would have occurred. Carol Joint, who was my great trail guide to all things social Washington. My husband, Joe DeFeo, who is at home watching this. This is coming home. That's pretty great. And a woman who is at the heart of the story that we told, named Odette Pereira. Odette came to this country from Portugal in 1972. She had nothing. She had no money in her pocket. She didn't speak English. She didn't even know how to cook, and yet got her job as a cook in the Italian embassy in Washington, and eventually began cooking for very famous and powerful people around Washington, whose names people probably would recognize, including Evangeline Bruce, who's another woman at the heart of this story. Odette was the key that unlocked everything, including the secret recipe that she promised to take to the grave, but ultimately shared with us, and thank you for doing that, Odette. She was an absolute joy to get to know, to get to cook with her in this way, to do something I never expected to do as a journalist. I'm so thrilled that people resonate with her story. Odette, this is for you. You are the best of us. Thank you.
I love radio. I love podcasts because, yes, I can work from home in my pajamas, but also because I think that they are arguably one of the most versatile and most democratic multi-tools in our food media toolkit. A well-thought-out show or a stream, it's easy to access. It can accompany you on the highways and byways while you sit in traffic or on a long road trip. It could get you through a long work day. And all of the great food porn and beautiful images, they're yours to create in your imagination. The recorded word permeating the air itself in a way that images simply can't. So for audio programming, the nominees are
Loading Dock Talks with Chef Prithvi Mistry, Progressive Hedonist with Dana Cowan, Psalm TV Podcast.
Incidentally, I just recently had really intense shoulder surgery, so whoever wins this, you got to give me a little bit more of a bow because I can't quite raise my arm. So it's like the whole Star Wars theme is continuing. The winner of this award, Loading Dock Talks with a Chef Prithvi Mistry.
Thank you, Gary. I did make some notes. I appreciate that. First of all, I just want to thank the Copper and Heat team. As I've said over and over again, if it wasn't for Katie and Rachel and Ricardo, I would still be talking about how I think I'd be really good at doing a podcast. So thank you so much for all of your partnership and teamwork and everything. And I want to thank Telly Justice, Chef Telly Justice. She's an amazing chef. And all of the guests that came on this particular season. I have to thank my wife, Anne. She's always supported every single crazy thing I want to do, whether it's going to actually make any money or not. And my parents. My mother is an amazing cook, and I attribute most of my chefing to her. But my dad, Dr. Mistry, is an amazing storyteller. And he's the one who has given me this gift of gab that I have and need to constantly share with everyone in the world. So thank you, Dad, so much. I thank everybody who listened, and of course the James Beard Foundation for this amazing honor. And I also want to point out, as many people have, that there are marches going on all across this country and across the world right now. And one of the goals of empire is to dehumanize certain groups of people in order to justify the way that they are treated. And that means trans folks, that means Palestinians, that means undocumented immigrants. And, you know, we're all here telling stories, and storytelling and oral history is such a major part of humanizing people. It may feel frivolous that we tell little stories about recipes and family recipes, but ultimately, those are the things that people listen to and read that help humanize different types of people and help people understand people from different backgrounds and who they really are, and humanize them and push away this dehumanization. I just want to finish by saying one thing, and that is, I think as many people might know, I am a truth teller. I don't mince words. And so I've got this little podcast that hopefully gets a little bigger because of this honor. But I just want to say to all of you in here in this room who are a lot of very powerful people in food media, to try to tell the truth a little bit more. And not just the safe truth, not just the uncomfortable truth, but the truth that might even lead to you losing a job or an opportunity next year. But years from now, you can say that you were on the right side of history. Thank you.
Ads and commercials. Okay, sure, I admit it. I think you got to admit it with me. Sometimes ads are when we get up to take a pee break in the middle of our favorite show or a sporting event. No, it's just me. It's, of course, just me. Sometimes ads are just the thing that we kind of wait for those 5 seconds to skip to our favorite YouTube video. But every so often, you watch an ad or you hear a piece of, I don't know, promo on the radio, a bit of branded content or something online, and then you're struck by how it's so clever, or it's so surprising, or maybe, I don't know, how excellently it was executed. And then you just kind of want to know who came up with that. Well, fortunately for you, we got a prize for that. And we're going to tell you. For excellence in food and beverage-related commercial media, the nominees are
Dirt, Colorado. Eater Vendors. Inside the Dangerous Dive for Sea Urchins. The Life of a Henyo. La Mera Mera Tamalera.
And the winner is La Mera Mera Tamalera.
Thank you. This really means so much to us, our community as Hacienda, and it also means a lot to our team up here. I drew the short straw to give the speech, but I just want to tip my hat to the person who really made this 12-minute long film. I would advocate not an ad. He's on my right. Daniel Klein, he made it with his hands, with his heart. He put a lot of soul into that, and I think it is reflected in this work of art. And another person indispensable to making this film was Ellen Clark, La Mera Mera Tamalera herself. She had planned to be here tonight, but couldn't for health reasons, and I'm very sad for that. She would have loved being on this stage. She would have loved being in Chicago today and being part of what we're all part of today. But she sent me a short email, and I'd love to read a tiny bit of this. She wrote, I told her there was going to be a link to the streaming. She said, please send me the link. And then she said, in this time of unrest and negativity towards immigrants and people of color, this video validates the strength of culture through food. So needed, gracias for doing. So to echo the words and the sentiment of some of the people who have stood before us, this weekend we're prouder than ever to be able to use our platform for powerful stories that are uplifting. So thank you. Thank you for this honor.
And I just want to say hi to my kids. Hi, Effie and James at home, hopefully in your pajamas. Love you guys. And Mira, who every film that I've made really wouldn't be possible without her. She's my collaborator. I love. Thank you.
I just want to say before I present my final award, it's wonderful being here with my food family. I hope everyone in this world has a chance to be with their families in safety and in hope and security. I know that was very much what today is about. May everyone that is affected by what's going on in this country find their family. May all the hostages come home. And it's my honor to be part of this food family. The final award that I have the privilege, thank you, the final award that I have the privilege of presenting tonight celebrates excellence in a powerful genre of storytelling that embraces the fact that the best storyteller is ultimately real life itself. It's a genre that communicates real, unscripted truth across all kinds of divides and preconceptions. Be it long form, short form, in between form, the more truth there is out there, the better it is for all of us. So, for documentary visual media, our nominees are
The Dawn of Tiki. The Man Who Feeds Gaza's Children. Marcella.
And the winner is Marcella.
This is such an unbelievable honor. Documentary filmmaking, like food making, is a community effort. Everything that we create as filmmakers was built on the shoulders of the stories that we get to tell and the people who help us tell it. Among the magnificent collaborators I had in this project was my producing partner, Renee Frigo, our amazing film editor and poetic storyteller, Amy Linton, our executive producers, Margie Geddes, Chef Art Smith, and Michael Cantor. So grateful to everybody at PBS American Masters and at Greenwich Entertainment for getting this story of Marcella's life. Marcella Hazan has been in my wife Valerie and my kitchen and in our consciousness forever, and we are so honored to tell her story. Marcella believed that bringing people together in the kitchen, around the dining table, together to have a wonderful meal prepared with the best ingredients is something of a sacred act. And to get to know her and tell her story is a way of honoring the beautiful spirit that she brought. I think that the act of making films and the act of putting them on public broadcasting, PBS is our collective dining room table, and it also is in peril, and we need to keep it alive. We are so pleased that Marcella will be coming to PBS on July 11th, and everyone here, the James Beard Foundation, everyone in Chicago, thank you. Especially Chef Art Smith is our guide to Chicago. Do you want to say a couple of things?
Thank you. You know, what do you do when you turn 65? You get invited to be part of a movie. Well, Marcella Hazan was the most amazing. She taught America about Italian cooking. And that is what's so important to build about is teaching, and we love her for what she taught us. And most importantly, when all else fails, feed them. Feed them and feed them and feed them, because food is love and power and diplomacy. Food is love. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. All right, LA is in the house. I've got two incredible West Coast women coming up to take us through the next awards. She is a chef, restaurateur, and co-host of Fox's Next Level Chef, and she is an entrepreneur and cookbook author with 2 New York Times bestsellers and a whole lot of mayo. Please welcome the fabulous Nyesha Arrington and Molly Bass.
Thanks, Padma.
Thank you so much, Padma.
I know this is a food event, but I just want to say, love the fit.
Thanks, girl. Love yours as well.
Thank you.
Of course. You know, for me, I really actually enjoy getting to get outside of the kitchen, play dress up. It's such a moment. And, you know, I do have one question for you is, how are you walking in them shoes, girl?
I'm not really walking, to be honest. I wasn't wearing them 5 minutes ago, and I just put them on to walk on stage, and I will be changing out of them shortly after this. So
nice. Well,
thank you for recognizing.
For sure. And definitely appreciate the effort, as I know all of you do as well. And we will also be praying for your feet.
Thank you.
And, you know, I got to say that effort is what we are here to recognize this evening. You know, showing up for the craft every day and creating truly engaging visual media. It might look easy, but there is a lot that goes into it.
It's so true. It might seem like I can make dripping, oozy, delicious sandwich content with my eyes closed, but actually there's an art that goes into it, and there's a story to every sandwich that goes way beyond the bread.
For sure. Visual media is an amazing way to add layers and color in that storytelling process, creating something that people want to watch. I think more importantly, actually, is to feel connected to, right? That's really the goal. Not to mention making something that is delicious and heartwarming.
We all know that we eat with our eyes. Our first category is full of offerings that hit those marks. The nominees in the running for the award for docuseries visual media are
Hope in the Water, Omnivore, World Eats Bread.
And the winner is World Eats Bread.
Thank you to Gary He for the excellent advice. I would like to thank the James Beard Awards, and I want to extend this gratitude on behalf of our creators and executive producers who couldn't be here: Christoph Baden, Ryan Rothmeyer, Faye Yu, David Shadrack-Smith, and our fearless showrunner, Alex Maestrel. Thank you to Sean David Johnson, our executive at National Geographic, and the entire team at National Geographic. The series was conceived with bread in mind as the perfect symbol of diversity and unity, a food we share but express ourselves individually through, Thank you to our amazing characters and experts who share their kitchens, their homes, their families, their life work, their businesses, their cities, and their countries with us. I am a small piece of a very mighty team who put this series together, so I want to extend a thank you to everyone who is involved, from the development team, to our field producers, to our APs, to our PAs, our entire post-production team, especially our editors, Anais Blondet, Yasu Nu, and Xuan Vu. Lastly, on a personal note, I want to honor the memory of my father, who we lost this past year. And I would like to use this opportunity to amplify the words of fellow nominee Yotam Ottolenghi, who said that the use of food and the withholding of it during conflicts is something none of us should stay quiet about. No person or child should go hungry because of war. So I want to extend my love and gratitude to the folks of Sudan, of Congo, and of Gaza. Thank you again.
You know, guys, I gotta say, I want to share with you, my grandmother, she pulled me into the kitchen every opportunity possible, and she taught me the fundamentals of cooking at the ripe old age of 5 years old. At the time, I didn't know that I was learning a really valuable life tool, being able to cook. I was really just enjoying time with my grandmother. Those were some of the first times that I felt what love tasted like. And these nominees for the award of Instructional Visual Media each found a unique way to evoke emotion, right? Leaving you wanting to step up to that cutting board. Here they are.
Christopher Kimball's Milk Street Television. Goat. Jamie Oliver, Cooking for Less.
Incredible. And the winner is Goat.
Wowzers. Very, very surprised and delighted. This season of GOAT, or Greatest of All Time, focused on chefs Angie Marr, Charles Gabriel, and Stefano Secchi. Working with our partners at Special Order, we wanted to create classes with these inspiring chefs. We wanted them to not only share their techniques, but the wisdom they've acquired, persevering against the odds. Angie's inspiration, her aunt Ruby Chow, was an industry pioneer back when restaurant work was one of the few opportunities available to Asian Americans. And today, Angie runs one of New York's best restaurants. For years, Charles had hundreds of customers flocking to his food truck in Harlem, but no bank would lend him the money to start his own business. When he finally saved up enough to open Charles' Pan-Fried Chicken in Harlem, there were lines out the door, and there still are. And Stefano has held himself to the highest standards, working for years in Italy to truly understand its cultural traditions and culinary traditions, and making them his own in spectacular fashion in New York as well, my home. All of us working on the classes were so inspired by their talent, their generosity, their tenacity. Thanks to all of them for making this possible. At Masterclass, we believe that anybody can learn from the world's best, and tonight is really a testament to that mission. Thank you to the James Beard Foundation for this incredible recognition, and to my wonderful husband and to my little 5-year-old boy, Graham, watching at home, causing turmoil. I love you guys so much.
Like many of us, I grew up watching cooking shows on television, but food programming has come so far since those days. This next category is a newbie to the James Beard Awards. It honors food-centric talk shows and lifestyle programs that explore food or beverage, including food and beverage competitions. For the category of lifestyle visual media, here are the nominees.
Lydia Celebrates America, Changemakers, Relish, Top Chef.
And the winner is Relish.
Honestly never thought this moment was possible. Thank you to the James Beard Foundation for this incredible honor. When we started the show back in 2019, we never could have imagined standing here in this moment. What an honor to be here among all the nominees in this room, and especially in this category. It is also a tremendous honor to tell the stories of the diverse food and restaurant community in Minnesota. We are so grateful to the chefs, cooks, and makers who have welcomed us into their homes and traditions. There are so many talented people who make this show what it is. Our director of photography and editor, Jack Davis, audio magicians, Terry Gray and Eric Poggle, Claire, Carrie, Ezra, Nathan, Erica, Abdi Fatah, Chris, and one of our biggest cheerleaders and supporters, Marissa Blahnik. We couldn't do any of this without the constant support of our families. We thank them. And we proudly represent Twin Cities PBS, a local public television station committed to telling stories like we do on Relish, and we are fighting for the opportunity to keep doing that. So, thank you.
I'm so excited. One of the things, especially being from Minnesota, I'm a cook. That's what I do. I put meat on fire and grill. That's really what I do. Never thought I'd hosted a show. Never thought I'd be on TV. And one of the greatest things is when people always talk about Minneapolis or even the Twin Cities, all the people from there are always talking about, hey, how could we leave to go see the world? Now in 2025, the world has come to us. So these are our neighbors. These are our friends that we get to talk to. And these are these incredible stories. And we firmly believe that every dish has a narrative. You follow that narrative long enough and close enough, you get to the people behind the food, and once you're there, it's really not about food, it's about people. So thank you so much.
Social media, it's such a powerful tool, and everyone has their favorite accounts. I know I do, across social, and today we're here to celebrate them. Social media accounts. Here are the nominees.
Day with May, Little Fat Boy, MetMG.
And the winner is Little Fat Boy.
I'm so nervous. I'm sorry, I didn't prepare anything. Thank you so much to the James Beard Foundation. This is so insane. I literally was working a desk job like 3 years ago in a tech company, procrastinating, seeing like so many of you on my screens and like in my little internet window. I was supposed to be in a meeting. So it is wild that I'm here today. I feel like there's two people I want to thank. I want to thank my mom, who is here today. You hear a Asian mom screaming, that's her. You know, my account is all about, essentially I take American classics like, you know, Kraft mac and cheese and, you know, Domino's, and I turn them into these Asian foods that, you know, I grew up eating. But really for me, it's a sort of a Trojan horse to tell stories about, you know, my immigrant family, being Asian American, being queer. And so, yeah, I feel like, you know, I wanted to thank my mom because, you know, when I came out to her, she was one of the first people to support me. And she, you know, now goes to all these drag shows, and she goes to Pride. She's wearing a blinking Pride flag right now, which is hilarious. If you see a distracting light, that's her. And I also want to thank my partner, his name is Scott. He's over there. He really just like grounds me and holds me down. And, you know, anytime I'm just like, you know, making a Birkin out of paper and I want to put a hot dog in it, he lets me do that, and he'll make me dinner and make sure I'm fed and I'm not spiraling. And yeah, I mean, I'm just so grateful that I can represent Asian American stories, queer stories. They're so important to see in food media, and there's so many people before me who have carved a path for me to be able to do this. So I'm so grateful for this honor. Thank you so much.
Last but not least, another award that's new in town, which is apropos for this one because it's all about the joy of exploring new places and new flavors. For travel visual media, here are the nominees.
America the Bountiful. Drink, a look inside the glass. Field trip with Curtis Stone.
And the winner is Drink, a look inside the glass.
I did prepare a speech, but I wasn't expecting to read it. It's a great honor to be standing here today with so many amazing people and artists in this room. This is truly a special moment in my life. It's funny having a dream, and it's even funnier to see it come true. You see, I've always wanted to be a show creator from a very young age, and this is not something typical of children. When I was in high school, kids would come up to me and they would say, "Hey, did you see the hockey game last night?" And I would reply, "No, but have you heard of this show called Parts Unknown? It's this incredible travel show." In university with my friends, they would ask me, "Hey, are you coming out to this party today?" And I would say, "No. There's a new season of Chef's Table, and I have to watch it." It continued throughout my life. Even last weekend, I was at a barbecue, and someone asked me, "Hey, have you seen the latest action movie yet?" And I said, "No. I was watching World Eats Bread." Shout out World Eats Bread. You have to watch it. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that tonight, being here, I can't help but feel like I belong. And I want to thank James Beard Foundation for this award, but I also want to thank them for creating a space like this. a place that celebrates food and beverage and the joy it brings to the world. I also want to dedicate this award to all the amazing people featured in the show, my fellow dreamers who have dedicated their life to their own craft. I also wanted to thank all the people who worked on this project. Without you, it wouldn't have been possible. Thank you to my two younger brothers as well for making the show with me. It was an incredible journey. And thank you, Samantha, my wife. I love you very much. Keep on dreaming, keep on creating, and thank you, James Beard Foundation.
Thank you, Molly, and thank you, Nyesha. Our next presenter is a 4-time James Beard Award-winning television personality, chef, writer, and passionate global citizen. We heard earlier that Rose and Dr. Harris attended the first ever Beard Award cruise. I was in the car with her because we rode over together, Dr. Harris and I, and she was telling me that they had to give out all the awards before they left the dock. And then they went on the cruise. So you guys should be thankful because this could be a lot longer. Anyway, this guy's probably the only person in the room who actually had Sunday brunch with James Beard himself. Please welcome Andrew Zimmern.
Thank you, Padma. Imagine, if you will, my friends, leaving the house with your father, walking a few blocks uptown, stepping from the cold of a December in New York morning into a room filled with cheerful voices and winter sunlight gleaming on copper pots and silverware. You feeling the vibe? Now lower the camera down to a child's eye view and step up to a table that's loaded, groaning with food. Always a shiny ham, a veritable terrine of golden hollandaise, towers of asparagus. The aromas come to you, literally at nose level. And everywhere in the scene, the aproned, laughing, silk pajamaed presence of the man who would leave a profound impression, not just in my memory, a friend of my father's, but in all of our lives. The Broadcast Media Hall of Fame Award goes to a visionary individual like Jim Beard himself, who has revolutionized the way food is presented and discussed on TV, radio, or streaming. Winners use their platform to entertain, educate, and inspire viewers about the vast world of food, embodying the Foundation's core values of good food for good. And the winner of this inaugural Broadcast Media Hall of Fame Award is Martha Stewart.
What a nice accolade to put on my list of really revered and cherished memories. This is an amazing thing. I actually knew James Beard. I have cooked from his books over and over and over again. And what he and his foundation did for the world of American cuisine is incomparable. We can't live without good food. We can't raise our children without good food. We can't help the world without good food. I am very, very pleased to receive this award. And thank you, James Beard Foundation. This is an incredible thing.
On behalf of the James Beard Foundation, we will accept this award on Martha's behalf. We move on to this year's Journalism Awards now, and I want to take a second to salute the writers, reporters, and publications who know better than anyone that a food story is never just about food. These awards recognize pieces that appear in periodicals or online, including self-published work. I'll leap in with the prize for a kind of journalism very dear to my heart. For reporting on dining and travel, here are the nominees.
Bill Addison, Los Angeles Times. Raphael Bryan, Food and Wine. Ann Eubank, Diana Hubble, and Sam O'Brien, Gastro Obscura.
And the winner is Ann Eubank, Diana Hubble, Sam O'Brien, Gastro Obscura.
Thank you so much for this. First, thank you to the James Beard nomination, or the James Beard committee. Thank you to the other nominees. We're just honored to be included with you, Raphael and Bill. We're such huge fans of Food and Wine and the LA Times, and honestly shocked to be here. We were panicking, texting each other after Gary's advice, so I wrote this up very quickly. Yeah, so we also want to give our immense thanks to two people who are instrumental to this project who couldn't be here tonight. You see Ann Eubank's name on the nominees. She's nominated along with us. Annie, your work is marked by a thoughtfulness and a sense of joy that made this project and honestly everything you've worked on so much better. Winnie Lee, our visuals editor, who brought every city to life with such lush, beautiful imagery. AI could never. This was truly a communal effort. The result of many different voices hailing from around the world. So I want to thank our contributors, Samantha Chong, Ozal Soko, Lee Tran Lam, Mark Johansson, Xiao Kun Song, Dan Q Dao, Austin Bush, and Tony Perote. We wouldn't also be here without the support of our family at Atlas Obscura. So thank you to our founders, Dylan Thuris and Joss Foer, to our editor-in-chief, Nick Jackson, to our editorial fellow, Andrew Coletti, to our writer and social media guru, Rachel Rummel, and to our founding editor of Gastro Obscura, Alex Mayassi. And before we go, I just wanted to say one of the reasons I love my job is that travel and how we eat when we travel, whether that's going far away or going to a new neighborhood, it has the power to make us kinder, more thoughtful, more open-minded people, and that's needed now more than ever. So thank you for supporting our work, and thank you for doing this work with us. And Diana has an announcement to make.
Oh, it's more like a shameless plug, because this was the first edition of hopefully an annual series that will recur for many years, and you can check out the next one on Monday.
Thank you.
The next category celebrates in-depth, long-form journalism on food and beverage topics. For feature reporting, here are the nominees.
Tim Carman, The Washington Post. Adam Isco, The New Yorker. Adam Reiner, Taste.
And the winner is Adam Reiner, Taste.
Understand how more people don't cry. I wanted to give you all a window into the world of a freelance journalist. I was looking back at some emails when I started pitching this piece, and I found one from an editor of a pretty major publication. I don't want to name any names. And the email said, "You touched a nerve with our Trader Joe's forward editorial staff, so we've decided to pass for now." So I just wanted to start by thanking them for passing. Thank you to the James Beard Foundation for this huge honor. I want to congratulate my fellow nominees. I'm so humbled to be in your company. This story could not have been possible without the brave testimony of the various sources who generously shared their experiences with Trader Joe's at great personal and professional risk, especially Chitra Agarwal from Brooklyn Deli, Jing Gao from Fly by Jing, and Oria Abraham from Oria's Malaysian Kitchen. I want to thank the team at Taste, my editor Matt Rodbard and Eliza Barbanel. Thank you for supporting my work and for always providing a nurturing space, a nurturing and vital space for food writers. In writing this piece, I didn't intend to be any kind of moral authority. On my salary as a freelance journalist, I occasionally shop at Trader Joe's.
I understand there are times when you have cravings for peanut butter-filled pretzel nuggets, but the story, I think, is an important reminder to everyone, including me, that we must be more mindful about our choices as consumers. What Trader Joe's is doing by duping established BIPOC-owned CPG brands may not be illegal in every case, but what they're doing is unethical, and in the absence of a legal framework that protects these small brands, we as consumers decide the consequences with our purchasing habits. And the best way to fight back is not only to support these small businesses by paying the true costs of what these products should be, but also to rely less on these multinational corporations that reduce someone's life work to a watered-down, whitewashed product that sells for $2.99. I understand that not everybody can afford to make these morally responsible grocery choices every time, but for those who do, it should always be an easy choice between Fly by Jing and Trader Ming. Thank you so much for this honor.
And for exemplary food coverage in a general interest publication, here are the nominees.
The Bitter Southerner, The New Yorker, Texas Monthly.
And the winner is The Bitter Southerner.
It's an honor to be here. And I find in this upside-down world, it's helpful to remember all the things that you are thankful for. My partners, Dave and Kyle, we've walked through fire together, and I would gladly do it again with you. Our team back home, we would not be here without you. We see you, we appreciate you. All of you, those here, we are so fortunate to work with so many talented writers and photographers and artists. You make this job both rewarding and fun. Thank you. Our readers, without your unwavering, unflinching support, we would not be here. Our judges, the James Beard Foundation, to have our work recognized by you is an honor. Our fellow nominees, The New Yorker, Texas Monthly, you're an inspiration. We're honored to share the stage with you. And finally, I'm thankful for freedom of the press. All right. Yeah. My wife who's here, Connell, she likes to say that we're the biggest little publication. Though we may be small, we are fierce. But together, all of us together, we are ferocious. By sticking together, we will continue to make change. Thank you all so very much.
Entries in the next category explore the connections between how we eat and drink and how we live in our bodies. This year's favorites concern subjects as varied as restoring microbial habitats in your gut to protecting farm workers from climate warming and preserving heritage crop varieties for coming generations. The nominees for health and wellness are
Jessica Ball, Danielle DeAngelis, and Sean Dreisbach. Eating Well. Gray Moran, Civil Eats. Alexander Zaitchik, Food and Environment Reporting Network and The Nation.
And the winner is Gray Moran, Civil Eats.
First and foremost, I want to thank the farm workers who trusted me with this story and who work long hours, often under threats to their health, and who make evenings like tonight possible and our entire existence possible. I want to thank the James Beard Foundation for this truly great honor. Thank you to my stalwart editors, Christina and Margot, who are here tonight, and my dear friend and writing companion, Aditi, who is also here tonight. Lastly, I encourage everyone here who procures food to check out the Coalition of Immokalee's Fair Food Program, which is the subject of this article. As a journalist, I try really not to promote anything, but they've truly created a remarkable human rights framework that has been able to root out some of the most seemingly pernicious labor conditions endured by farm workers. And then, echoing earlier comments this evening, I hope all journalists here strive to care a little bit less about what our audiences think and who we might anger, and commit more deeply to the truth. Because we owe that to the people who we report on. Thank you again.
And the last one for me, this award is named for a fearless reporter who digested the history, culture, and politics of Los Angeles in newspaper stories about that city's many food scenes, including those ignored or overlooked in the mainstream. In an age when local coverage has never been more desperately needed, we are grateful for this year's nominees for the Jonathan Gold Local Voice Award. And they are
Ashok Salvam, Eater Chicago. Tina Vasquez, The Assembly and the Food Section, The Guardian. Alicia Vermillion, Seattle Met.
And the winner is Ashok Salvam, Eater.
Well, first of all, thanks to the JBFA for justifying my really ridiculous commute today. Being based in Chicago, I've attended this event for years, seeing a wonderful group of great storytellers who uniquely add to the rich tapestry of food culture. Perhaps I shouldn't be biased, but I believe journalism is the foundation for all these stories. And local journalism is more important than ever in a world where the most vulnerable contribute the most and receive the least. For those drunk on consumer culture, feel free to look away, but that was the common thread connecting my fellow nominees. Alicia's story on the sports bra connects fans for women's sport in a world where the Chicago Sky's Angel Reese is a regular target on social media. Tina's work needs no introduction, as today's nationwide protests show. I'm a son of immigrant parents, and they're currently resting in an assisted living facility. The prices they paid for living in this country are untold. Food writing, culture writing, and makes us see things differently. Vibrance goes beyond plating, sourcing, and taste. Now a word from one of my editors. What city are we in right now?
Chicago!
Last year, it was odd to hear the winner of this award in my hometown talk about the wonders of Atlanta. To top it off, his name was Mike Jordan. I mean nothing by it. Mike's awesome. I'm thankful for the support of Avi and my wife Shilpa. They have supreme patience where every meal can turn into a story idea instead of a relaxing night out. I can't do any of this without you. Thank you to editors like Brennan Hulk, the talented photographers and copy crew I work through, and the members of the Vox Media Union. I wasn't born into food writing, it found me, and I'm grateful that I can write about Chicago. I'm going to wrap this up with a very special tradition. It's a cultural tradition that has been passed by and appropriated. Thank you all.
Thank you. And now, she's a former breaking news editor at the New York Times, as well as editor and founder of Island and Spice magazine, and the chair of the James Beard Foundation's Journalism Committee. Please welcome Rochelle Oliver.
Thank you, Padma. Before I start, I just want to say hello to my son. He's my favorite chef. He's 3 years old. Hi, Harlem. It's really lovely seeing so many media professionals gathered together to celebrate. We all know it takes a level of courage and emotional endurance to report the truth. And this year has been no exception. To the journalists and photojournalists working tirelessly to convey the truth, I see your persistence and applaud your efforts to provide perspective, even from our corner of the food space. And I have a story to share about this time when I was in elementary school and my dad managed a Taco Bell in a little farming town in Belglade, Florida. To get to work, my dad had to wake up before dawn to drive on a sliver of a road that cut through miles and miles of sugarcane fields. When my sister had to join him on Saturdays, we'd stuff our pillows in the car and we'd wake up with the sun rising over the cane stalks. Well, there was this one morning we awoke and the fields were burning. It looked like we were driving right into the roar of the fire, and I was terrified. "Do not worry," my father said. "The farmers are preparing the harvest." When we drove through the fields the following weekend, I wasn't afraid of the fire. Instead, I noticed the sweetness in the smoke and looked forward to the harvest. You see, perspective really is everything. And here's the takeaway. Don't be afraid of the fire. It too is a part of the process. Telling the truth has always been dangerous work. But just like in those cane fields, the fire is not the end, it's preparation. So stay focused, stay encouraged, and remember why you started. And every time you go to pick up your pen or your camera, remember you are preparing the harvest. Now, one of the aspects I love about my role in these awards is recognizing those who expand our understanding of the food space. The winner of this year's Emerging Voice Award in Journalism is, oh my goodness, I'm shaking. Oh my goodness, who is it? Who is it? Mackenzie Chung Fagan.
Thank you, Rochelle, and the Journalism Awards Subcommittee. It is such an honor to be in this room with you all, let alone on this stage. In 1976, in a Talk of the Town piece titled Frisco, Tony Hiss wrote in The New Yorker that my grandparents' 2-year-old Hunanese restaurant was, quote, the best Chinese restaurant in the world, an egregious act of hyperbole that none of the editors in this room would have let slide. I wasn't born yet, but that hyperbole changed my life. Like so many restaurant workers in this country, my grandparents were immigrants who struggled to give their children a better life. My grandfather had long felt discriminated against by landlords outside of Chinatown, and that review allowed him to buy his own building and expand. You can't really train to be a critic, and full-time restaurant critic jobs are disappearing at an alarming rate. But whenever I've wondered how to go about doing this weird job, I think about Tony Hiss and the impact his words had on my family and the responsibility that comes with this platform. I want to thank my incredible colleagues at the San Francisco Chronicle, both on and off the food desk, especially my editors, Janelle and Caleb, and Solejo and Cesar Hernandez for blazing a trail at the paper. And to my mom and my smoking hot spouse who almost didn't make it to Chicago because she didn't have a real ID. I love you, and this is a hard job to do with a 1-year-old, and I couldn't do it without you. Thank you.
We had another presenter lined up to deliver these next few awards, but I said, fuck you, Stanley Tucci, I'm doing it myself. All right, creating beautiful, balanced, exciting drinks, whether high proof or no proof, takes craft, critical thinking, and outright brilliance. For writing about Beverage, the nominees are
L.V. Anderson, Grist and Slate. Mickey Lyons, Punch. Craig Sowers, Punch.
Craig Sowers, Punch.
Yeah, getting nominated was like so far from the realm of reality for me that winning feels like I'm in an alternate universe. I flew in from Tbilisi, Georgia for this, so I'm like very jet lagged. The clock is ticking, and I don't want to get the music treatment, so let's do this. Thank you to Chloe and everyone at Punch for just being amazing and so thoughtful and incredible to work with. You're the best. Khobjai Pitaga, Kiminwei, everyone in Thailand who opened up and shared their story with me and trusted me with it. It's a story about making booze, but really it's a story about being shamelessly proud of who you are and where you're from and your heritage, and I think that's really important today. And yeah, last but not least, obviously, thank you to my partner in life, my wife Megan, who's in Tbilisi still. She's been my #1 fan and biggest supporter for 14 years. It's such a great support that when I say things like, let's go on a road trip to Northeast Thailand, and while we're here, why don't we just like swing by this distillery? And she's on board with it, and I wouldn't be where I am in life without you. So I love you, Megan. And thank you to the foundation also for celebrating writing. It's not an easy industry anymore, and it's really an honor to be here among all of you. So thank you. Thank you.
Contenders for the next award make great guests at dinner parties because it's their job to have thought-provoking opinions on all things food and drink. For food-related columns and newsletters, here are the nominees.
Teresa Katsourelis, Bridget Huber, and Claire Kellaway. Food and Environment Reporting Network and Mother Jones. Tin Pham and Luke Tsai, KQED. The Civil Eats editors, Civil Eats.
And the winner is Teresa Katsourelis, Bridget Huber, and Claire Calloway, Food and Environment Reporting Network, and Mother Jones.
So I am not Teresa Katsourelis, and I'm not Bridget Huber, but I am joined by Claire Calloway. Congratulations, Claire. I am the editor-in-chief of the Food and Environment Reporting Network, and we're a nonprofit. And we work in partnership with other publications, in this case, Mother Jones. So I want to thank them for their partnership and all the hard work they did with us, and particularly my editing counterpart, Maddie Oatman. This issue that we wrote about with the Farm Bill, well, it was almost a year ago now, or maybe a little bit more than a year ago now, we were talking about all the issues that needed to get done with great urgency to make sure that SNAP was protected and that our farm system and our food system, our agriculture system were all protected. The Farm Bill has not passed, but in a way, I think the issue is really, really pressing right now. If you are following at all the big, beautiful bill that made it through the House and is now working its way through the Senate, many of the things that we were worried about in this series of articles are taking place right now, particularly massive cuts to SNAP, which provides food for so many low-income Americans, and at the same time as they're cutting SNAP, they're attempting to increase the subsidies to our commodities producers. And if you pay attention to anything having to do with ultra-processed foods, you'll know that, and the environment, you also need to perhaps think about shifting that money over to SNAP and taking it away from the commodity growers. So this is not necessarily the sexiest topic to write and report about, but it really, really is important, and I'm very, very grateful that we are recognized for doing this work. Thank you very much.
Sometimes a food story is much more about why we cook and how we experience food than about what we make. For personal essay, here are the nominees.
Luke Pyenson, Taste. Brad Thomas Parsons, Vine Pear. Mossab Abu Toha, The New Yorker.
And the winner is Mossab Abu Toha, The New Yorker. The James Beard Foundation will be happy to accept this award on his behalf. And sometimes the story is just not complete without ingredients and directions. For personal essay with recipes, here are the nominees.
Layla El Haddad, Saveur. Steve Hoffman, Food and Wine. Renee Elia, Above the Fold.
And the winner is Layla El Haddad, Saveur.
Thank you. This is very emotional. I want to thank God Almighty first and foremost, alhamdulillah. This is an incredible honor, but it's also a moment that is heavy with grief and responsibility. I wrote this essay not just as a journalist, but as a daughter of Gaza, grieving and trying to make sense and gather the scattered fragments of a home that Israel was and continues to bomb out of existence. I'm emotional because I lost my father a few days ago, and he taught me everything I know about surviving and living with dignity in a world that so often conspires to erase us as Palestinians. A world that is both complicit and cruel, and yet one in which we continue to resist with joy and with love and with courage that he instilled in me to tell our own stories. And on a weekend that celebrates all things food, I would be remiss if I didn't remind us that Gaza is being starved, intentionally and systematically. This is not simply a humanitarian crisis. It is not a tragedy unfolding in a vacuum. It is a genocide carried out with our government's support and with our collective silence. That silence and that detachment, especially in food spaces that so often consume culture without protecting its people, makes us all complicit. I dedicate this award to my father, Allah yarhamu, who was my rock, to my mother, my biggest supporter, to my husband, and to my aunt, whose story deserved to be told without her life being taken away, and to every Palestinian in Gaza who can no longer feed their children, but still tries fiercely and tenderly with whatever scraps they have left. And at a time when Israel is using food as a tool of genocide, cooking has become more than remembrance and survival. It is a way to assert life itself. It has become defiance. I urge all of us to use our voices and our privilege and our platforms, not just to speak, but to act boldly. Because the genocide in Gaza is not distant. It is funded in Washington, normalized in the media, and directly related to what is unfolding here in the United States. Our silence sustains it, and our courage can help stop it. Thank you.
The phrase, be brutally honest, gets thrown around a lot. But for writers who can combine frankness, fairness, and precision with personal flair are unusual. A sampling of headlines from this year's nominees gives you a sense of what the judges were looking for. Oh, I said I wouldn't say his name tonight. Trump says Democrats would take away your hamburgers. He's the one who might. I'll take the beef jerky at Sophie's over your Wagyu beef any place else. And finally, the enduring, confusing, and always delicious octopus cart is puffing along after 34 years. In the running for the Craig Claiborne Distinguished Writers Award, we have
Ted Genoways, Food and Environment Reporting Network with the New York Times, Inverse, and the Washington Post. Jen Harris, Los Angeles Times. Craig Laban, Philadelphia Inquirer.
And the winner is Craig Laban, Philadelphia Inquirer. The James Beard Foundation is pleased to accept the award in his absence. The James Beard Awards are grateful for the hospitality of the great city of Chicago. Next up, to introduce the Chicago chefs responsible for tonight's menu, I'd like to welcome a special guest. Illinois Restaurant Association President and CEO, Sam Toya.
Thank you, Padma. And welcome to Chicago. We're going to have a great weekend. And Chicago would not exist without the immigrant community. We are a city of immigrants, all our 77 communities. So make sure you definitely visit one of our great neighborhoods while you're here. There is 21 James Beard Award winning restaurants are still operating, so visit them as well. So again, at the Illinois Restaurant Association is indeed proud to partner with the foundation again for this year's celebration of excellence in American cuisine and our culinary community. Our organization exists to promote Illinois' fantastic restaurants and chefs. So let's take a moment for a James Beard tradition and recognize the chefs who, together with their teams, have prepared a terrific tasting reception after the show. Chefs, please show yourselves. Give it up, come on, we can do it better than that. Let's give it up for the chefs. Remember, we're never done and we're never outdone in the city of Chicago, the city of immigrants. We'll see you at the party soon. Enjoy the weekend.
Our final presenter is one of my very favorite journalists writing on any topic, the host of Public Radio's The Splendid Table and a multiple James Beard Award winner. Please welcome Francis Lamb.
Well, thanks, Padma. And congratulations to the James Beard Awards on 35 years. That is older than me, not really. We're actually right behind you at the Splendid Table. We are 30 this year. And thank you, Public Radio. Yay. So our show is 30 years old this year, and in celebration, we've been touring the country. I've had the opportunity to talk with farmers, chefs, bakers, and more all around the country. It's been such a thrill. But, you know, as much as you love going out, you always want to come home, right? And home means different things to different people. For me, home is where your kitchen is, wherever you get to make the food and feed yourself and your people. That is home. And different kinds of homes have different kinds of home cooking. So the next award celebrates all of them, and the nominees are
Danielle Dorsey, Los Angeles Times. Andrea Geary, Cooks Illustrated. J.M. Hirsch, Christopher Kimball's Milk Street Magazine.
And the winner is Andrea Geary.
Bright up here. Thank you so much to the James Beard Foundation for this tremendous honor. Thank you to my coworkers at Cooks Illustrated and America's Test Kitchen. There are no solitary heroes at our company. Everything is very collaborative, and there are too many people to name here who were helpful with this. I really want to thank the subject matter experts that I interviewed for this piece, particularly Susan Park, who is a historian of Korean food and a formidable social activist, and Dr. Ariel Johnson, whose book Flavorama was so deservedly recognized with a nomination this evening. I must thank my editor on this piece, Liz Baumsey, who couldn't be here tonight. Liz, it is such a privilege to have you as an editor, and I'm even more privileged to call you a friend. I would like to thank my father, Robert Geary, and my late mother, Celeste Geary, for raising me with love and kindness and patience, because I was a lot. And I have always hoped to make you proud, and I hope I've done that. Speaking of pride, I am a member of the Communication Workers of America, Local 1400, and I thank my union for their support. Thank you all.
Thank you.
So for most people, a quick Google search is about as deep as it's going to get. If you have to Google, turn off the AI thing. Don't boil like 9 swimming pools to figure out like where to go eat tonight. Anyway, a quick Google is about as deep as most people get when it comes to finding out topics in food. People are busy, I understand. But there are those who want to go all the way to the beginning, to do us the service of showing us what they found. For investigative reporting in a food-related story, the nominees are
Patricia Clarenbow, Federica Narancio, and Esther Poveda, Univision News Digital and Investigate Midwest. Melissa Montalvo, The Fresno Bee. Ian Urbina and the staff of the Outlaw Ocean Project, the Outlaw Ocean Project and the New Yorker.
The winner is Ian Urbina and the staff of the Outlaw Ocean Project. Unfortunately, Ian can't be here with us tonight, so we will accept this on his behalf. The next category is a new one. It recognizes exemplary storytelling through the use of photography within food culture that delivers a visual narrative with skill, perspective, and style. The narrative photography, the nominees are
Benedict de la Cruz, The Everyday Projects, and Emily Sohn, NPR.org. Rory Doyle, Amy Lombard, The New Yorker.
And the winner is Rory Doyle.
Quite nervous to be up here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the James Beard Foundation. I also didn't prepare a speech, not expecting to be here. I'm from a small town in Mississippi, and this project is about food places, food space, and a restaurant called Chuck's, a dairy bar actually, that was completely demolished in 2023 in a tornado. And before that, I had been spending years, thanks to the owner, Tracy Harden, who welcomed me into the space to document and show what food means to that community and for those people in the rural Mississippi Delta, Without her restaurant, it would be an hour's drive to fresh food in all directions. So it's for her, the community of Rolling Fork, Mississippi. I dedicate this award to you, as well to my wife, Marisol, and my suegra, Maria, who taught me everything about food that I know. Thank you so much.
And I am so pleased to get to announce this category, one of my favorites. Entries in this category bring us closer to the work, the ideas, and the life stories of important figures in the history and evolution of American food culture. Here are the nominees for Profile.
Christina Cook, The Bitter Southerner. Jordan P. Hickey, Longreads. Helen Rosner, The New Yorker.
And the winner is Helen Rosner. You should have showed up. Take one home. Yeah, take it home. Yeah, you can take it home. A great chef is nothing without ingredients.
Oh yeah, this is my turn. Not yet.
Wait, we're not done?
Okay, sorry.
Just take the thing. You're good.
I'm heavily edited usually.
I thought we were done too, sorry. Okay, this award acknowledges the importance of culture and history in food journalism. Entries in this category explore the connection between what we eat and who we are. The nominees for Foodways are
Lindsay C. Green, Detroit Free Press. Robert Kunzig, Food and Environment Reporting Network and Switchyard. Naila Iqbal Muhammad, Eater.
And the winner is Detroit Forever, Lindsay C. Green.
Add me to the list of people who did not prepare. Thank you, Lord. I really don't even know what to say. The last time I was here, I guess last year, I was pregnant and hiding my pregnancy still. And now I've got a 6-month-old at home, and thank you. And I kind of joke that this story was my first baby. And the story and the baby were actually competing. And both came on the same day, Thanksgiving Day. I had my baby, and my story was published. And here I am with a 6-month-old and this award. I guess I just have to thank the Free Press. I thank my editor, Khalil, who's super patient with me as I talked about this story for literally 2 years. Our editor-in-chief, Nicole, thank you for just allowing me to pursue a story like this for a restaurant critic. It's not often that I get to cover urban farming, but it's a passion of mine. It's something that I just think that we leave a lot on the table when we don't cover farming. And it's such a big part of our food system. It's the first part of our food system, arguably the most important part. So I'm just grateful that they've allowed me to cover more than just restaurants. And I just have to say that this story is really, it's really important to me because I think there's a piece of the story that is a topic that I think I'm going to be covering and pursuing probably for the rest of my life, and that is just this conversation about people of color returning to their agrarian roots. There's a piece of this story that talks about just the fact that people of color have really gotten away from farming because of the trauma associated with it. And it's something that I really would like to get into on my own, just the advocacy for people of color to return to those roots, to pursue farming because it is important work. And I'm just grateful to all of the people who talked to me in this story and who shared those concerns and who shared that trauma. And thank you to the judges who recognize the importance of this work and the value of this story. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you to the magnificent Frances and all of our presenters tonight, and thank you also for your patience. The final award of the night is named for a woman who lived not exactly in the world of gastronomy, but through it. She thought and wrote about food as a way to think and write about living itself. There's no one who's influenced my own writing as much as she has, and she is and will remain an idol to me. So it is my honor to announce that the nominees for the MFK Fisher Distinguished Writing Award are
Jeff Gordonier and George McCallman, Food and Wine. Caroline Hatchett, The Bitter Southerner. Jaya Saxena, Eater.
Jeff Gordonier and George McCallman, Food and Wine.
This music is so extra. I've been thinking that all night long, and you all have too. In my brilliance, I did not bring my glasses, and so you're all going to watch me read like an old person this evening. I just have to hug Karen Shimizu, my amazing editor. Amazing. We both have some words to express for this very special story, and I have to also thank the other nominees in this category. This is an endangered species, this story, and it is telling that it's also one of the last categories because it is one of the more important ideas that we have as a culture, telling truth in stories with resources that allow for that truth to come to light and be revealed to the world without interruption. Our human stories are fragile things that require stewardships. Features like the city that Rice built are a dying breed. Food and Wine gave us the time, resources, and encouragement to do a deep dive on a story that deserved excavation. This award is a testimony and a testament to the power of collaboration. My deepest thanks to my writing collaborator, Jeff Gordonier, and to Hunter Lewis, who had the idea that Jeff and I never would have had as two individual writers who would not have thought to pair with each other to tell this story of forgotten American history. It was his idea. We would not be accepting this award without that vision. My gratitude extends to the incredible Karen Shimizu to my left for her insightful stewardship of this story, and Winslow Taft for his collaborative expertise. My main thanks, however, goes to the subjects of our story. Gula Geechee culinary matriarch Charlotte Jenkins, visionary artist Jonathan Green, Kim Long, Dr. Kim Long, chef Amethyst Ganaway, and the legendary Alexander Smalls. We also want to thank the Meggert sisters and Rice Whisperer, Roland Chalmers, for trusting Jeff and I with this complicated and very, very difficult truth in our American history.
Huge thanks to the James Beard Foundation for honoring the city that Rice built. Thank you, George, and thank you, Jeff, who's hanging out with his kids for Father's Day, for the curiosity, collaborative spirit, and deep care with which you shaped this piece. I need to thank Dotdash Meredith, Food and Wine's parent company, for your ongoing support of great journalism. We don't take it for granted. And finally, thank you to the many Food and Wine colleagues who lent the logistical and editorial support that made this story possible. And a second shout out to Editor-in-Chief Hunter Lewis. Thank you for your leadership, vision, and integrity in all things, but especially when it came to this story. It would not exist without you. Thank you.
Hunter, you're the man.
Yeah.
I also, there are a couple people I have to thank additionally. I am on the stage through the side door. I am a book and magazine designer who 10 years ago started to be encouraged to write. And so I'm really grateful to specifically Jan Newbery, Lisa Trottier, Rachel Levitt for treating me as a contemporary long before anyone else had a reason to. And to my business partner, Miriam Thompson, for insisting that I come here today when I had decided that I was not going to be here. So, thank you. Thank you.
Well, everyone, this has been a joyful opening celebration of the 35th anniversary of the James Beard Awards. From that first voyage on the Hudson to our gathering here it's too late, otherwise I would tell you what I was thinking. Anyway, to our gathering here at the edge of Lake Michigan, we are part of a tradition I am proud to help carry forward. Congratulations again to all our nominees and winners. Here's to at least another 35 years. Good night, everybody, and thank you for being here.
No heroes, villains, one to blame. While wilted roses fill the stage, and the thrill